market is definitely not one of, ooh, let's make backup offers. We haven't been there in a long time.
We don't usually.
Mm.
This was a really unique house, and the agent was smart. He priced it under market, and it drove a lot of traffic. It was gorgeous, an absolute gorgeous house. And I doubt, well, like I doubt anything's gonna fall through. But it was honestly like those clients that like weren't getting off the fence. We kept looking at things, and they just could, and they finally were like, "We're ready to do this." And if this doesn't work out, then we kind of have all our ducks in a row with the lender and mom that's moving in with them and that. So, yeah, it was one of those things where I don't normally like push those, but I was like, let's do it in this one.
All right, that's awesome. Well, what about you, Brad? What's going on down there with you?
Oh, I mean the Chiefs lost, which I'm okay with because like now everybody can stop being like they still have a chance when they never really had a chance. So with the radio stations, everyone's like, "Oh my God, everyone's leaving the team now. They're gonna fire everybody," and it's craziness. So it hasn't happened in what 10 years. So um, them not making the playoffs. But
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, you're hurting Michelle's feelings. Be careful.
I mean, I'm a Chiefs fan too. I want to see them do good, but they were not good. It's hard to watch the football games because they are
Yeah.
not playing good at all.
Yeah.
And of course, then the Cowboys lost, so they're sort of out of it too. So I'm on to hockey season.
Listen,
But
just become a
anyway,
Red Raider fan because we just
oh yeah,
are won the Big 12 championship for the first time in conference history. We're number four. We're going to the Orange Bowl. It's a great time in Lubbock right now.
yeah.
So just
I have a
jump
lot
on
of
board with
friends
us.
from undergrad and grad school that grew up in
Nice.
Lubbock, so there I see their feeds all like, woo.
It's been a little insane around here, but fun. So, Peggy, Brooke, Ramil, how about y'all? What's going on in y'all's world?
Well, um, I'm just thankful it's not snowing today. I just, shoveled. My husband went and got a shovel. He insisted he had to get the one from the shop, and he brought back one. Evidently, they took our good one, and he brought back this not such a good one. So we're gonna have to get a new shovel. So
Hmm.
anyhow, I got the shoveling done though. So, anyways, um, thankful that I had a shovel.
I don't even know. I mean, I know we don't own one. I don't even know if I could go to Lowe's and find a snow shovel right now. I don't think that's even a thing. I mean, here, like,
There's a good chance
Yeah,
we couldn't find one right now either because when it snows, they
because you've
like
used them all.
a lot of everything.
right. He went to
Last,
three different places yesterday because he's specific. He's picky about what kind. Because he did go to Menards, Lowe's, and somewhere else, Home Depot, and didn't find one. So now he looked online, and there's supposedly one at Ace Hardware in our little town here. So he's going to go there today and get it. So
last year we did get one day of like or maybe a weekend of a bunch of snow, and Trevor had like our regular shovel, like dirt shovel, out there, like shoveling the sidewalks, and I'm like, oh well, it works, I guess. I don't know what the difference is. It worked.
Surface area.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, I guess it would be. Yeah, well, maybe next time I'm up in Iowa, I'll get him a snow shovel for like the one time every 2 or 3 years that he might need it. If he has to get out there before the kids go and go crazy with snowmen and all that stuff. So, okay, well, it is 9:07. Wait, I did not mean to skip over you, Ramil and Brooke. If either of y'all wanted to share anything y'all have going on. No. Okay. Um,
I want to share
I
one quick
yes.
thing. I had well, I had a great time in Zion and things like that, but
Mm.
that was I had a really bad like gut punch last week from a client. I had sent a referral over to Illinois because I still don't have my Illinois license, and shame on me for not, because I literally live like I can throw a rock at Illinois from my house. And And I had sent a referral and it went really bad. And it actually, they were moving back to the Missouri side. And I lost them like as clients. And she had sent me like a text message and basically like explained, like it was a really bad fit with the girl and everything. And she's like, we love working with you, but it was a timing thing. My mom's friend got licensed. But it was the for a number of reasons, it was like really a crappy situation. And and I realized like I mean it got me down for like at least a day. Like it really upset me, the whole situation. Not about losing them as clients, just like how I mean like them using somebody else. It wasn't about the commission. It was literally like about this relationship and stuff that I had with them. And I read this thing about and that it was like I'm not even like a huge big Taylor Swift kind of fan. I'm actually like an old Taylor Swift fan, but they were talking about if anybody doesn't know like how she redid like all of her albums and everything. Does anybody know like about this whole story? Basically she like they sold her like all the rights to all of her stuff and she redid everything. And I was reading this thing about her, and at the end of it, it said, "What are you treating like a permanent loss instead of a temporary setback?" And it goes and it like it says a whole bunch of stuff, like basically saying like it doesn't mean like losing what you've built doesn't mean that you like that you can't rebuild it. And I just it made me sit and think on this so much and reflect like it sucks to like have these like gut punches and things like that, but like I really appreciate them because it made me think like I have to be very, very careful like who I'm passing like somebody to. I have to, I mean, it stinks that it has to be that way, but I honestly, I'm thankful for like the setback, and it also made me think like I can't just think just because the relationship with a client is good that it's like always going to be good. Like sometimes you really have to like put the work in all of the time. And it was funny that an article on Taylor Swift like made me think that, but I just appreciate the article. If anybody wants it, I'll
That's
send it to
awesome.
you. It's more about Taylor Swift, but it's like kind of like, about yourself also.
That whole story, or I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan, honestly,
Yeah.
but that story about how she did lose everything, recreated it, and then I want to say like last year she had the opportunity to end up buying all the
Mhm.
rights again. This story is pretty incredible because how many people would have just been like, I'm done, right?
Yeah, like I've made
I'm done.
millions, like I'm just gonna be done. And
Exactly.
she like a lot of people probably would have been like that, but and she made that she outsold her like the
Hmm.
originals and everything. It's just amazing. And it's like, it was really like I said about it's perspective of how you're like looking at things, and it can go with anything in life. And I was just appreciative that I read this like article because it hit me in the right spot, like with I mean, because this family, it started with the grandma and grandpa, and I've probably had 20 something transactions that's come out of this one family. And to that, my actions of referring her to this person over in Illinois and what happened with that whole situation, I mean, it really bothered me. Like, because I never intended to do anything negative, but I just need to. I know I gotta watch like who I'm giving somebody to and all those kind of things.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it's working out though. That's good.
And sorry that it go on
Um,
a longer thing, but yes.
no, that's okay. That's okay. So today's Mindset Monday topic. I what I usually I try to come up with like a topic, right, about mindset, but then I'm like, because of some conversations I'll get into here in a second, I think we need to talk about just like your mindset in general, right? When was the last time you really checked in with where your head is, and not just like what I kind of get into a habit of doing, like, oh, I'm great. I show up with a good face and everything's fine. Things are going well. I'm busy here. But is my mind really matching up with what's on the outside? Um, and how often do you actually check in on that with yourself? And not just like, I've got this list of questions that I've been talking to ChatGPT all weekend about this. And I've got this list of questions to kind of evaluate my own. And I don't mean just like answering them in a fluffy, lighthearted way, but like really being very honest with yourself about where your mind is and noticing any patterns or anything that are maybe not the healthiest. So here's what started this journey over the past week. I had lunch with a friend last week. She's also an agent. She's a former coaching client. Um, and she's had a pretty good year, not like, record breaking, but not terrible by any means. And every time I've seen her over the past year, she's been her normal, positive, yeah, things are good, happy, upbeat self. And we sat down for lunch, and she starts out that way. And she's like, I need to tell you something. I'm like, okay. She said, I'm quitting real estate. I was like, whoa, okay, tell me about this because she's built a pretty good business. She's been doing this for a while. She said it's just too much. Another friend of hers has like in her close circle of friends, has also gotten his real estate license, and they have a lot of overlap. She feels like she's losing a lot of business. The brokerage she is at is they took some ideas of hers and kind of stole some things from her and didn't really give her credit. She's just had a lot of things going on, and she's just not. She's just like, this is too much. I'm quitting. And I was really surprised because all this stuff had been going on over the past year, but every time we'd seen each other, every time we talked, she was all happy and things were good and just putting on a good face, right? So we ended up having lunch for like 2 hours and really talking about her mindset and how all of these things can really hurt your mindset, right? When you have things stolen from you, when you're losing business to a friend who's in your same sphere, when you've had some really tough transactions, these things start to build up in your brain. And if you're not careful, you're going to spiral down and get to this point of, I'm just quitting. I'm just done. And so we talked a lot. She's not quitting real estate, fortunately. She might be moving over to a different team, but she's staying where she is. Um, and it really got me thinking even after we left lunch, I was like, man, I really kind of asked myself some of the same questions that I asked her and started realizing that there's some places in my own life, my own business, my own mindset where maybe I'm showing up like, oh yeah, things are good. I'm great, all that. But if I really am very, very honest with myself, it's not necessarily that great in some areas. Um, and I think we just get in a habit of just pushing through and just, well, I've got to be positive, right? And just like the whole fake it till you make it kind of thing. But if you're just faking it all the time, you're not really going to make it because it's not real, right? So I got online with my friend ChatGPT. I've got to give him a name. I don't, do y'all name y'all's chat, by the way? No, and I feel like I need to. I name my Siri isn't Siri that gives me the directions to my car. It's Edward because he has a South African accent and it sounds royal and Edward directs us the right way. So I feel like I need to name my chat. I'll do that soon. So I'm talking to chat this weekend and I'm like, okay, I tell him about this conversation, tell him about the outcome, tell him about where my head is. And I'm like, man, I want some really clear questions that I can ask myself, that anybody could ask themselves and if you're being honest with yourself, to really kind of give me a good pulse of where my brain is, of where like just checking in on my headspace. And I wanted to share these questions with you. So if you have a pen, pencil, taking notes on your phone, something, write some of these questions down. I'm not going to make you answer them right now because I will be honest, when I sat down and wrote these out in my journal, I got a little emotional because I just realized I was just not in alignment and I didn't like that. So I'm not going to make you answer them out loud unless you just feel like you want to. But here are some that have really helped me over the past couple of days. And there's 10, so this will take a minute. But first one is, what's the story I've been telling myself lately? So your mindset obviously is shaped by your internal narrative and just what's kind of always going on. Is the story empowering or is it limiting? Is it pushing you forward or is it giving you an excuse to kind of stay still? Like, oh, well, it's okay that I'm doing this, whatever. So, what's the story that you've been telling yourself lately? Number two is, am I choosing my thoughts or reacting to them? If you want a healthy mindset, you've got to be intentional. There's a book that I have read probably, I don't even know how many times over the years. It's called The Battlefield of the Mind. Or, yeah. And it's everything, every battle that we face, it all starts in our brains, right? And how we react to it can so be powerfully be directed by our thoughts. So are you choosing your thoughts or are you just kind of letting them go crazy? And where are you operating in that? And where do you need to make some changes? Number three is, do my actions match the goals I say that I want? So if the answer is no, there's a big gap there. Or for me, the question reveals alignment or lack thereof, right? Maybe like here's where I say I want to be, but am I really doing the things I need to do? Number four, what am I avoiding because it feels uncomfortable? Number five, is my self-talk right now helpful, harmful, or neutral? And you don't, one thing I think that maybe it's just me, but sometimes I feel like I just have to always have this overflowing positivity. You don't. You just you you don't. Um, it's better to just be real, right? But what is the talk that I'm giving myself right now? Is it helpful, harmful, or neutral?
Can you
Number
repeat
six.
that number five? I'm sorry. Can you
Uh-huh.
repeat number five?
Sure. Is my self-talk right now helpful, harmful, or neutral? And if it is harmful, that's going to destroy any momentum that you have. It's going to keep you still. It's going to keep you from moving forward. But identify that so that way you can move forward. Number six, what emotion has been running the show this week? The stress, excitement, fear, gratitude, because helping mindsets are not emotionless, right? There's always an emotion going on in there. So, what emotions have been running the show? And I can tell you that mine hasn't been super awesome lately. I might show up all smiley on here, but my brain is just kind of a mess, just full transparency. Number seven, what is one thing I've been complaining about that I actually have the power to change? Are you taking responsibility or placing blame? Are you taking ownership or, oh, it's all just somebody else's fault? Number eight, where am I winning right now that I haven't acknowledged? Because if you're not celebrating the wins, no matter how small they are, that's going to really shrink your motivation. And if you want a healthy, positive mindset, you need to see the progress, not just focusing on the problems. I'm not good at that. I'm not good. I know that we talk about gratitudes and wins and everything. I'm not good at recognizing them in my own life on a consistent basis. I do it on here, and that's probably it. And then we get off the call, and my brain just it stops, and I'm like, "Ooh, I've got to be better about that." Gosh, I'm sharing all kinds of like my own internal thoughts today. So, ooh, I don't think we are recording. Yay. Number nine, what fear or insecurity is making decisions for me? That was a big one for me. And if you can identify it, you can interrupt it. And number 10, who am I becoming through my habits? What your what your habits are, the actions that you're consistently doing says a lot about your mindset. And a habit isn't always positive, right? It's not always I'm waking up and going to the gym every day. It can be a habit of negative self-talk. It can be a habit of complaining. It can be a habit of blaming other people for your situations. See where the habits are and see if there's something that you need to shift in that. I listened to a really good Mel Robbins podcast this week. I don't remember the guy's name that she was interviewing, but it was all about making and changing habits. So get on there and search. It was really, really good. So, okay, so you've got these 10 questions. Is there any, I mean, again, I'm not going to make anybody answer them because, like I said, I cried a lot. But are there any, though, as you're writing them down, anything that stuck out to you, like, ooh, I want to dive deeper into this con or this question or this area?
I think the one that really jumped out at me is like the one about what emotions are driving your decision.
Hmm.
It's been very prevalent the last probably week. Um, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man, emotions are powerful things, right? And I was watching, oh no, it was actually our sermon at church yesterday. Um, our pastor is reading a book. I think he said it was called Emotional Intelligence. And he said that whenever something happens or you're reacting or you're making a decision, there's an electrical pulse that starts at the top of your spine and it goes through your brain to I'm not gonna. Michelle's the brain person. You're gonna be able to explain this better. But it goes to your frontal area of your brain, but it passes through your limbic system, which is where all of your emotions live. So literally everything, every decision, everything you do passes through emotion first. But you have the power, you actually have control, if you work it backwards, you have control over those emotions. So are you letting your emotions and every decision you make, what emotion are you letting control the boat? And what needs to change? Or maybe something doesn't. Maybe your emotions are really solid and really in check, and that's amazing. If not, you've got power to make a shift.
I thought that what are you avoiding because it's uncomfortable? And then going next to the five is my self-talk helpful, harmful, or neutral? Because you're really uncomfortable, and then you go, how are you talking to yourself about it? Are you are you being negative to yourself? Are you pushing yourself in the wrong direction? I mean, are you just digging a hole? Or are you trying to come up with some positive, okay, what can I do instead of, oh my God, oh,
Hmm.
or in there, are you stopping yourself and saying, okay, this is what I need to do? Because a lot of times I'll be thinking about, oh, how bad this is and how uncomfortable I am, and just keep doing that instead of stop. Okay, what do I need to do now to
Yeah.
go the other direction?
Yep. It's really powerful. Like he also in yesterday's sermon was really excellent, but he talked about the power of the pause, just like what you said, right? Like, okay, stop, take a breath. Now, what do I need to do? Instead of letting the emotions and the self-talk and everything just kind of run wild and direct you, get really good at implementing that pause. How many times have we joked about the pause on here where like Matt or somebody will ask a question and he's really good at just pausing and waiting for an answer, right? We've talked about that when we talk to clients, right? Pausing and just letting the silence do the heavy lifting, right? We need to do the same things with ourselves, with our emotions, and with our self-talk. Like, okay, just stop all of it, take a breath, and then take control of the next thought or action or feeling.
I think it's funny just looking at like the dynamic on here and like I feel like we've all kind of been in this group for quite some time now and knowing like, okay, there's several of us on here who aren't good at the pause, and then there's some on here that are. I would say probably not to make it gender about gender, but I would say the guys are probably a lot more laid back in terms of not jumping in, not going, like just pausing and listening. Um, from that perspective. And I'm sure that's just inherently we have different brains and different ways of thinking. But
Yeah, I think that is, I mean, our brains are built differently. And did you know that this used to frustrate me whenever any of my babies were in the not sleeping through the night phase? My husband would never hear them cry, ever, ever. And so I was always getting up to be with the babies. And when I had three of them that were all crying, I was like, for the love, why are you not breaking or waking up? They're like screaming, help me. And I read this article that talked about how women actually have, even though, yes, y'all all have the same limbic system, women have an extra bridge in their brain that connects everything to a deeper sense of emotion. And so things like hearing your baby cry, it's like you feel it really deep in your heart and in your brain. Men don't have that extra bridge. I don't know the name of the bridge, but it's men don't have that, and that's why they don't hear the babies wake up at night because it's just not that they don't all. I'm not Brad and Bruno. Please, I hope you are not taking it like, oh, she's telling us we suck. No, I don't. There's just something different about our brains. And so, yes, I do think it is easier for men to be like, okay, pause, instead of just moving forward in that emotional state because they don't have that extra little thing connecting it and tying it together.
You mean he wasn't just ignoring all those years?
No, no. Even though I still felt like that, even after knowing that, I'm like, that's no excuse to throw a pillow at him. I guess it's sort of an excuse. I sure did not tell my husband about that article until they were well past the waking up all night thing. I didn't want to give him an excuse. Fortunately, they all mostly sleep now. So, what else? What else stood out to you? Well, my challenge for y'all for this week is take some time and just pick a few of these questions and just go through them and really answer them very, very honestly. You don't have to share them with anybody else. You don't have to tell anybody else that, oh, my mindset sucks right now if it does. Or maybe your mindset's phenomenal right now and good for you. But give yourself a little mindset checkup this week. Just take a few minutes and just identify where you are and then identify one action for this week that aligns with you getting into a healthier mindset if you need to. So, well, it's 9:31. It's time to go. But y'all go have healthy brains this week. Bye, friends.